Hello everyone and welcome. Today I want to share a gentle creative journal practice with you. One that is centered around the symbol of a tree. So before we begin, I'd like to talk a little bit about why the tree. There is something so powerful about them. Their roots, their strength, their ability to bend with the seasons, the storms, while still standing and connected to the earth. The trees hold entire ecosystems within them. They provide shelter, nourishment, oxygen, medicine, beauty, and life. And yet they simply stand there, growing slowly and steadily over time. And what I love the most is how similar we are to trees. So we also have roots, and we also go through seasons. We also lose leaves and we grow new ones. We carry scars, we bend, sometimes we break. We heal and continue growing. And every part of the tree has a purpose. The roots anchor and nourish. The trunk supports and protects. The branches reach outwards. The leaves represent growth, transformation, and new beginnings. So I'm Natalie MacLeod, counsellor and certified facilitator in the New Creative Journal method, developed by Anne-Marie Jobin, an art therapist from Quebec. It is a personal journal and a creative self-exploration approach that combines writing, drawing, and collage to support your well-being, your self-awareness, creativity, and personal growth. So the method is inspired by art therapy, psychology, and creative journaling practices. And if you would like to learn more about the New Creative Journal method, I have included a link to a video presentation below, along with a video by Anne-Marie Jobin in the description box below. So in terms of supplies for this journaling practice, you will need your journal in an A4 size or even A5 size type journal with paper that's quite sturdy and can hold water. You will need some sheets of paper, some coloring pencils, felt pens. You will need your basic journaling supplies like scissors, glue, old magazine and collage papers. This is optional, but in this project I'll be using a little bit of fabric. If you don't have any fabric, it's completely okay. You will be able to use some cardstock or some paper of your choice. So for this first part of the activity, we're going to write on the left-hand side of our journal. As you're writing, I'm going to invite you to think about the following questions. What keeps me grounded? What anchors me? And what has helped me go through life? Life can be incredibly difficult sometimes, and we all go through challenges, grief and transitions, disappointment and heartbreaks, also uncertainty, but yet somehow we continue. So what has helped you continue? What made you stand back up again? It could be resilience, creativity, your children, your partner, your friendships, memories, your spirituality, your pets, anything you can think of really. Once you have finished writing down what grounds you, we're going to circle and or underline the phrases that stand out the most strongly to you. So now we're going to draw the roots of our tree. And for this you will need, I've got here an HB pencil. You can use a felt pen or some coloring pencil, whatever you have on hand. If you don't feel confident in drawing, I have added this outline of a tree in the description box below. So as you're drawing your tree, as you're drawing your roots. Take time in reflecting on what you've written on this side. Think about the why things ground you. So I forgot to say that these words that we underlined and circled, we are going to add them to our roots. We are going to put them in the soil, and they will be acting like what has nourished us, what has helped us through. So as you're doing this, I invite you to think about why these things ground you. For example, creativity grounds me because it brings me back to what matters. It helps me feel calm, or it reconnects me with myself. And then as you're drawing the roots, just really take your time and feel them going deep into the ground, holding you and holding you and supporting you. Think about the words that you've circled on this page. I've actually written them down on a separate piece of paper just to make sure that I had the ones that stood out for me the most. And I recommend you use 2 different colors, one to represent what grounds you and anchors you, and the green, what emotions you get out of that grounding feeling, whether it's calm or tranquility. Once you have finished, I would invite you to spend some time looking at what you've written in your roots. And perhaps you might find that something comes out. Perhaps you might notice something significant or something important that has been holding you, that has been helping you stay grounded during times of difficulties and challenge, for example. I did notice that accepting help has been a big one for me recently, and it actually brought a sense of comfort and that I can rest. And then after that, then we're going to color in the ground, and we're going to use some earthy colors. It could be browns or anything you like really, and either in a pencil or a soft pastel or even watercolor. However, if you use paint, it might smudge your page, so I think I'm going to be using a coloring pencil. As I said in a previous video, mediums in the New Creative Journal all serve a purpose. So for example, your soft pastel, they might serve a purpose for kindness. So for example, if you spread a little bit of soft pastel on your page and use your fingers, that could be a way of giving you the idea of being nurtured. But I'm going to use coloring pencil because coloring pencil for me takes time to color in. And of course, if you have time, this is ideal, as using a coloring pencil is a reminder that things take time to grow and establish themselves, and that we need several experiences in our lives to integrate new learnings, new understandings. So there is something about coloring in and taking time that is almost like an initiation of learning to be patient with growth and with life. So next we're going to draw the trunk of our tree, and as you draw it, imagine energy traveling upwards from the roots through the trunk. So I'm bringing in all that good energy from the ground up into the branches. So the third part of the activity, we're going to do the branches and the leaves. And my goodness, I think I would have probably needed more space actually. If you have this issue as well, as you felt that you needed more space for your tree, well, number one, you've probably seen the video before, so hopefully you'll be able to sort this issue out. But that's another process of the New Creative Journal, is that we do not let obstacles get in the way. So, you know, I could, for example, add an extra bit of sheet of paper here, stick it on there, and then I would carry on with my branches. So, and then what you can do afterwards is to fold it like this, so it's kept in your journal. I've decided to just do a very small tree with lots of branches instead. I'll be using a slightly thicker notebook paper. We're now going to create the leaves using watercolor paint or colored pencils or anything else you enjoy using. I personally chose pink tones because I recently discovered a sacred tree loved by the Inca people called the Lepacho tree. So the Lepacho tree is believed to have protective and healing properties, and right now it felt deeply symbolic for this stage of my life. But you can choose any tree that resonates with you, whether it's an oak tree, a willow, a birch, a cherry blossom. I really do believe that whatever tree comes to you is meant to be. So we're going to spend some time having some fun now, creating. And there's something soothing and calming about painting, especially when we use watercolor. So after spending a lot of time writing and reflecting deeply, then now's the time to anchor those calming feelings using your favorite colors. And as a guide, I've got a few questions that can help you and inspire you. So, what gives me energy right now? What is beginning to bloom in my life? And what am I slowly growing towards, for example? So, are they new connections, healthier habits, stronger boundaries, more rest or self-trust? Write these ideas down separately first if you'd like, in bullet points, spontaneous writing, or brainstorm form. I transfer them onto those leaves that I'm going to stick onto my tree. Then we're going to cut the leaves out and place them onto our tree. It's probably a little bit late now, but you don't have to do leaves. You can also do flowers on your tree or fruit. Or you can do all of them. You can do a combination of the three. The aim of the New Creative Journal is that it is not perfect. It's not necessarily aesthetically beautiful. You can really draw a very, very simple version of a tree with a few words, and it doesn't have to be grand at all. So I've added some leaves to my tree, and I left some blank ones as well, and I highlighted all the other leaves with some acrylic paint markers, just so smooth to use. And so this really anchors the idea of calmness and tranquility. You can always write onto acrylic marker, so you can always add to your tree as you grow. So now what we're going to do is we are going to create a little pocket that we're going to place onto our trunk. So for this you will need a small piece of fabric or of cardstock or old project that you thought you were going to throw away. Just cut a little pocket that you're going to stick onto your trunk. There we go. You've got a little pocket. So now, what are we going to do with this little pocket? We're going to draw ourselves on this piece of paper in the form of a stick person. So it doesn't have to be anything extraordinary. There we go. So now you've got your little character, your little figure. We're going to slide her inside the pocket and just feel how it feels to push yourself, to slide yourself inside the pocket. It might not be comfortable, but that's okay. And if it's not, you are always in charge of your journal. You decide what you want to do and what you don't want to do. However, if it feels okay, then I invite you to place yourself inside the pocket. This little pocket can become a reminder that you are held. And you can always come back to your tree whenever you need to reconnect with yourself, your strengths, your support system, and also how far you have come. I'm genuinely curious to know whether this practice changes the way you look at trees the next time you go for a walk. Instead of the little person, you can put a quote or affirmation of your choice, or even the photo of a loved one. You can place it inside your pocket with yourself. The possibilities are endless. So thank you so much for journaling with me today. Take care of your hearts, yourself, and your loved ones. And I will see you again very soon. Bye.